Once upon a time in a bustling city, there lived a 30-year-old man named Jacob. He was a talented software engineer, buried in lines of code at his desk job where algorithms made sense and people were a puzzle he couldn't solve. Jacob was painfully shy, his cheeks flushing at the mere thought of small talk. At parties, he'd cling to the walls like a shadow, nursing a drink while others laughed and connected effortlessly. "How's the weather?" someone might ask, and Jacob would mumble a one-word reply, his mind racing with what-ifs. What if I say something stupid? What if they think I'm boring? One rainy afternoon, Jacob's world shifted. He was at a coffee shop, hiding behind his laptop, when he overheard a conversation at the next table. A confident young woman was chatting with the barista about a book she'd just read. Jacob envied her ease, the way words flowed like music. But when she turned to him, smiling, and said, "Hey, that laptop looks like it's seen some battles. What's your go-to app for rainy days?" Jacob froze. He stammered, "Weather app?" and buried his face back in his screen. She politely nodded and walked away. That night, alone in his apartment, Jacob stared at his reflection. "This has to change," he whispered. He was tired of missed connections, of living on the sidelines. The next day, Jacob took his first bold step. He signed up for an online course called Building Social Confidence, recommended in a forum he'd lurked in for years. The instructor, a former introvert named Alex, emphasized starting small. Confidence isn't magic, it's muscle. Practice daily reps. Jacob began with mirrors, talking to himself about his day, forcing eye contact with his own reflection. It felt silly at first, his voice cracking, but he persisted. He read books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, jotting notes on open-ended questions and active listening. Week by week, Jacob ventured out. He started with safe challenges, complimenting a stranger's dog in the park. "Your pup has the fluffiest ears I've ever seen," he'd said, heart pounding. To his surprise, the owner beamed and chatted back about breeds. Small wins stacked up, a nod from a coworker during lunch, a shared laugh with a grocery clerk over a spilled drink. Rejection stung. A curt reply here, an awkward silence there, but Jacob learned to shrug them off. "Not every conversation is a home run," Alex had said. "It's about showing up." Then came the test. Jacob's company hosted a networking event, a room full of co-workers and small talk. His palms sweated as he entered, but he remembered his training. Stand tall, smile, lead with curiosity. Spotting a group discussing tech trends, he approached. "Mind if I join? I'm Jacob. I work on AI. What's the hottest gadget you're excited about?" His voice was steady, his eyes meeting theirs. To his amazement, they welcomed him. He listened, nodded, shared a story about a buggy code that saved the day. Laughter rippled through the group. By evening's end, he'd exchanged cards with 3 people, including a potential mentor. As Jacob walked home under the stars, a quiet pride bloomed in his chest. He wasn't transformed overnight. No, confidence was a journey, not a destination. But now, he could chat about the weather and mean it, weaving in stories that connected souls. Jacob had stepped out of the shadows, ready for whatever conversations life threw his way. And in that, he found not just confidence, but freedom. This was the first of many changes to come.